Hey everyone, this is Alan, editor-in-chief of evnews.com, and I would like to say thanks for following me. I hope everyone's having a nice end to 2020. This year has been an absolute insane year on the stock market, and whether you are a day trader, a swing trader, or you have long-term stocks that you've invested in, you could have made, and hopefully everyone watching has made pretty good money in 2020. There has been a shift in the world where stocks that revolve around sustainability, renewables, and EVs have really taken off. And I hope that all of you took advantage of it. So, what I'd like to do today is take a deep dive into my portfolio and talk about my top performing stocks in this year, 2020. I'd like to ask you guys to like and subscribe. That way, you can keep up with me. I will be posting another video soon about my top picks for 2021. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So this year so far, before I talk about what's actually in my portfolio right now, I want to talk about the stocks that I did swing earlier this year. So it began with Tesla. I swung Tesla. I swung Workhorse, and I swung DPHC or Ride. Day trading stocks that I did a little day trading on Solo, and I did a little bit of day trading on Candy, especially when Candy had that big run. But other than that, most of the stocks that I've invested in have been swing trades or long-term holds. And you can ask my subscribers. Subscribers ask me quite a bit, like, hey, which stocks should I invest in? And they ask me if I've sold, and I still do not sell a lot of my stocks. So without further ado, let's go into that. The first thing, the number one stock this year in my portfolio right now has been ABML, which is American Battery Metals Corp. And what they are, they recycle lithium ion batteries. And this year has been quite amazing for me. And I've had a return of 1,282.44%. We're going to do percentage, not the top gainers in terms of profits, but we're just going to do percentage wise. And then after that, ABML is an OTC stock, so you have to buy it on, I use Fidelity. You cannot buy this stock on Robinhood. Another OTC stock that has done really well for me that I do not plan on selling either anytime soon has been DSGT. And what they are is they are almost like a middleman with two Chinese companies who are about to sell EVs in the United States. And with them, I have a return of about 145%. Like I said, I do not plan on selling, and it is an OTC stock. Once again, I use Fidelity for my trading. The next stock that I've invested in that has done amazing this year has been Mountain Pass. So right now, I am up 74.18%. However, I did invest at 17, and I took half of my initial and I took half of the shares that I initially invested in. I sold it once it hit 100%, and it has had a little pullback. So once it hit 35, I did collect half of those shares, and I put that into another company, which I guess I can tell you is SOAC, which is Sustainable Opportunities Acquisition Corporation. And right now I'm up on that stock 3.34%. It is, of course, a SPAC, but I'm hoping that it merges with someone like Lucid or Proterra, of course, would be ideal, which leads into another stock that I've invested in, which is QELL, which I do believe might be Proterra, or hopefully it is Proterra. Right now, I don't have that large of a position on it, but I am up 27.28% overall in my total gains. After Mountain Pass, the next company that I've done really well on has been THCB. I invested and I wrote an article on evnews.com about basically all of the stocks that I'm talking about today. I wrote an article about it when it was at $10.25, and that's when I got in, and right now I'm up 63% overall. It did go to $20.50, and I was very tempted to sell half of my shares to collect my initial investment, just like I did with Mountain Pass, but I decided to hold because right now there's only that letter of intent to merge with Microvast, but I do believe that the direct agreement is coming, or the definitive agreement is coming, and as soon as it does, I do believe that it's going to explode. So I'm not planning on selling my THCB anytime soon. Another company that I've invested in is another OTC stock. It is called EEMMF, and what it is E3 Metals, and what they do is they work with Levent, which is LVNT. No, the ticker for Levent is LTHM, like lithium, because they are a lithium company. And E3 works directly with them. I did purchase in about like at 50 cents, and right now it is at 68 cents. So that return has been 33.71%. Another stock that I've invested in has been LAC, and it is my largest position right now. It is Lithium's America. So as you see, I'm a little bit heavy into the mining and into rare earth mineral stocks. But Lithium Americas is my top pick right now. It is the company that I do love the most and the company that I do not plan on selling, especially not for $1,000 gains. I'm looking for a really nice return on that. Hopefully in 2021 or in 2022, I will hold until that stock makes me a lot of money. And right now on LAC, I'm up 22.71%. So I've done a really good job on that one as well. Like I said, I'm holding. It was up to $13.13 in pre-market. It closed at $11.92 today. So it did have a little pullback. Actually, most stocks today did have a pullback, which leads us into why did today have a pullback, right? So the reason why is because December 29th, 2020 is the last day to sell your stocks to then declare those gains or losses ultimately in your taxes in that tax year of 2020. So today there's a lot of people taking profits because they don't want to, or they'll pay the taxes this coming year for this year of 2020 instead of holding into 2021, right? So that's the reason why there was quite a bit of a pullback today. I'm not worried about it. I'm not selling. The EV industry, sustainable development, renewables are all taking off. There's no need to panic and sell. The next stock of mine that has done pretty well has been WWR. I did invest at $4. I am currently up 21.36%. Another one is Lake Resources, which again is an OTC stock. And on this stock, I am up 9.84%. And then I'm up on a lot of lithium companies like Lithium Corp, Lithium Chile, Standard Lithium, and all of them I'm up over 36%. Lithium Chile is 46%, and then Lithium Corp is 71.35%. So I've done a really good job on lithium, and the reason why I am so heavy into rare earth minerals and into mining is because ultimately what you have is you have 4 levels to the EV industry. So you have like the charging, you have the vehicles, of course, you have the charging stations, you have the batteries, and then you have the minerals and the mining that's needed for all of it. So without the minerals and the mines, you cannot have the batteries, and then without the batteries, you can't have the vehicles, and without the vehicles, then you can't have the charging stations. But all of these sectors, all 4 of those sectors have done extremely well this year. But after all my research, I've realized that lithium stocks are posed to really take off starting in 2022, 2023. So I felt, hey, it's a good time to like get in early and hold. Which then kind of leads to another stock of mine that has really taken off. It was an initial $500 investment, and that's mine. It's an OTC stock. It is Minerco Inc., and it has nothing to do with EVs at all. It is a psilocybin stock, so it is a magic mushroom stock. And as of right now, I'm up 710%. However, at one point I was at $15,000 on it, and I think the return was like 3,400% or something crazy like that. So yeah, that was quite amazing at that point. I did not sell because it's in my Roth, and what I have in my Roth is I don't mind holding it a little bit because it's meant for like a little bit of long-term investment, but I'm also very aggressive in my Roth as well. So that's in my Roth. Of course, I've done okay, and I've lost a little bit of money on things like Graphite one, which I thought was really gonna take off. I guess Graphite hasn't really taken off yet. And then I am in Global Lithium Ion, GBBGF. I thought that would also take off. It has not. I am down as well on Next Green Wave, which is my only like pot stock. I have not invested in any of that green stocks. I don't even go there really. It was just recommended to me by someone, and I was like, well, I have some money. I bought like 1,500 shares, so I just went ahead and picked up some of those. I'm currently down 5% on it for a loss of like $25. So I'm not extremely worried about that. Overall, this year has been insane. So, which leads me to some of my regrets. So one of my big regrets is that I didn't invest in Neo. I at one point did swing Neo. I bought in at 12 and I sold. It went up till about like 16 and then I sold and then just kept going and it went all the way to 20. I actually wrote this article that was like, which is the next stock to hit 20? And we had like Workhorse at 15. We had Neo at $15, $12. We had DPHC. We had even Blink that was sitting at like $12. And I was like, which one's going to hit 20 next? And most people picked Workhorse, but I actually did pick Neo. And ultimately, I had weak hands then. And I was like kind of new to this. So I didn't hold long enough. And it did hit 21st. And then it hasn't. Obviously, it came down a little bit to like 19. And then now it's sitting over 40. My friend is invested, or well, he was invested. I asked him to hold. He ultimately sold for pretty good profits. So none of us have Neo anymore, which I'm a little bit disappointed in. And then when it comes to Tesla, I don't own any Tesla stock. My girlfriend, she has Tesla. She has quite a big position there. And we have this thing where we're like, hashtag never sell, hashtag never sell. So when we wake up and she checks her portfolio and she's like, well, I'm doing really well on Tesla. We're just like, hashtag never sell, like never sell the Tesla stock. So that's kind of our little motto right there with that. And then my family is pretty diversified. Another great stock of mine that I've helped my family invest in, and it's in my sister's portfolio, is NOVS, which is App Harvest, which is high-tech farming. She invested in the low 11s, and I believe it's over 15. At one point, I did see it at 17. So she's done really well in that as well. And I've always encouraged, and I wrote to my subscribers and stuff. I have articles, of course, on evnews.com about those stocks. Another good stock that I think moving forward as of right now is like AREC. It seems to be having this momentum up. It went up, down, up, down. It's sitting in like the $2 range. You can tell that it wants to like take off, but it's still being like held a little bit. It's a rare earth mineral stock. I do have a little bit of shares in that as well. And it is one of my decent performing stocks. Another one of mine that I'm holding long term, of course, like I said, is WWR. So yeah, I'm very heavily invested into mining because you have the 4 sectors, but of course I am looking to diversify. I have that THCB, which is my battery company, and then it really leads to my biggest regret right now, and that's my mother and sister, they live in Europe, and Europe is very much more aggressive in their EV agenda than the US. So my biggest regret is not buying TPGY, which is EV Box, which is like Europe's charging stations. They're based out of Amsterdam. I had done a lot of research into them and I was already like, had my eye on them. In fact, I even saw like job postings for them on LinkedIn and I followed them on LinkedIn and I was like, as soon as it comes to the stock market, I'm gonna invest. Well, the definitive agreement launched, it went up to 25 and then it came back down a little bit to 18 and I was like, this is the time to do it right now. This is the time to do it. But I didn't have any funds available and I didn't want to sell my mountain pass until it hit 100% profit, which it did like 3 or 4 days later. And at that point, EV Box was already at like $28 or $29 and I was like, I missed it. That's been really the one stock in the last like 3 months that I've looked at and I've said, man, I really wish I had got into it. But the last month and a half, and I've had a lot of people on like stock twits and like stock blogs or even like personally message me and said like, hey, the last month and a half has been amazing. And it really has. My portfolio, I've been lucky enough that it has doubled in the last month and a half. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm very looking forward to 2021, which will lead us into the next video, which are my top picks for 2021. So I hope you guys like this. Like I said, subscribe, like, keep me posted, comment below, tell me what have been your best gainers for 2020. I'm interested in hearing what everyone else is invested in. Let's keep it EVs. Of course, there's like I said, like mine, which is like the magic mushroom stock, and there's all these other stocks, of course, that you could have invested in, but let's keep this EV. You guys have a great end of 2020. Happy New Year's. Follow, subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.